Hi, hello. Welcome to the episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is April the 15th, 2026. Hopefully, this episode finds you well, in good spirits, and high hopes. As for me, I'm doing pretty good. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day to ya. Hopefully you humped and didn't get humped. Unless that's what you're into, then by all means, have at it. As for me, it's been a good day. It's been a solid day. We got up. We got ourselves together. Went to work. Work was overall good. It was a treat day at work, so a little food corner action for you. They gave us corn dogs and fries. And by corn dogs, we got one corn dog and a thing of fries. We'll say I'm pretty sure the fries were cooked in peanut oil, so that was nice. Honestly, the fries were pretty good. And you had the option of putting cheese, ranch, or both on the fries. So the first time, because that's right, I didn't just get one, I scammed for two. The first time I just did an OG run. I got a corn dog, I got some cheese fries, little ketchup and mustard on the side, and we were good to go. Honestly, yummy. And I should have cut my losses there. I got greedy. My back was big. What can I say? And I kind of got razzed by some of the guys in maintenance because I said I just got the cheese. Like, you didn't get the cheese and ranch? Why not? Why not? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, my intuition was telling me it's not a ranch situation. And, that kind of made me doubt myself. Maybe the ranch was fire and I was missing out. I was lacking. So when I used my second ticket, I was like, you know what? Double it up. Get both of them. And then I fucking slop maxed the shit even harder because then I added some mayo on the side with the ketchup and mustard this time. And I just had it was a sauce plate. Like, that's all it was. And I just ate it all like a greedy little goblin. And afterwards, I just had the itis. I was just so tired. But we got through the day and proceeded to go to the gym. We got through it. It was one of those situations where it was so busy for a Wednesday at that. I just kind of had to make do. And then plus, I just didn't really feel great. I was just really tired. I was really like schleppy. I don't know. So I did the best with what I had in the tank. And then we got out of there. Excuse me. I came home and I was like, oh, I need a nap. Like, that's going to fix this. Let's try to rest. And I laid down for maybe about 15, 20 minutes, and I just couldn't, stay down. I couldn't go to sleep. So I just got up, had my stretch, had my snack, did some research, and here we are. And I'll add that I had some coffee with some espresso in it to kind of, perk me up, and that energy has already left the building. So here we are. If this sounds maybe a little bit more somber, maybe I make a few more mistakes, mea culpa in advance. But yeah, let's go ahead and do our startup and let's get into the news. I am definitely enjoying that the weather has gotten warmer, at least for now. I hear that's supposed to cool down on the weekend, and Sunday it's going to go back down to the 50s. But we're having highs or so in the 80s, so I mean, I'll take it. Knock on wood, we can kind of stay on that, and hopefully it doesn't go back to any kind of, because we're in the middle of April. Like, come on, Mother Nation needs to cut it out in Ohio. They playing games. Anyway, let's continue with this startup. I got more. All right. Our first story comes from Reuters. Reuters, tomato, whatever. Student kills 9 in Turkey's second school shooting in 2 days. A 14-year-old student shot at least 9 people dead, including 8 of his fellow pupils, and wounded 13 others at a middle school in southeastern Turkey on Wednesday, officials said. in this country's second school shooting in 2 days. 8 students and 1 teacher died in the attack in the province of Kahramanmaraş. I'm sure I'm fucking that up. Turkey's Interior Minister Mustafa Sifsiti told reporters, adding that 6 of the wounded were in critical condition. It was solely a personal attack carried out by one of our students. It is not a terror incident, Sifsiti said. Earlier, Governor Mukarrem Unlur had said the shooter had shot and killed himself in the commotion. An 8th grade student came with 5 weapons and 7 magazines, which we believe belonged to his former police officer father. In his bag entered 2 classrooms with 5th grade students, causing deaths and injuries indiscriminately, Unlur said. 5th grade students are usually aged 10 and 11 in Turkey. School shootings are very rare in Turkey. Asked by reporters if authorities would take any measures after the shootings this week, Sifsiti said, "We will take necessary precautions," without elaborating. Let's see here. They go through just some of the gun laws, but then also, like, just some of the holes that pertain to said gun laws. We're not really, we're just going to skip ahead on that part. But on Tuesday, a former student opened fire at a school in the southeastern province of San Lurufra. Oh my God, fucking shit. San Lurufra, wounding at least 16 people, including students and teachers, before killing himself. So obviously 2 very unfortunate situations kind of going back to back in Turkey. Obviously condolences to all the lives lost, all the people affected in those situations. Let's see, but we're going to move to our next story. We're actually going back to Sam Altman's house. Speaking of kind of repeat offenses, people, 2 arrests made in possible shooting near OpenAI CEO Sam Altman's home, days after Molotov cocktail attack. 2 people were arrested after a possible shooting near the San Francisco home of OpenAI CEO Sam Altman, just 2 days after a Molotov cocktail was thrown at the residence. Amanda Tom, 25, and Muhammad Tariq Hussein, 23, were arrested and booked into the San Francisco County Jail on suspicion of negligent discharge, according to a press conference from the San Francisco Police Department. It's unclear if they have entered pleas or retained attorneys to speak on their behalf. The arrests are related to a possible shots fired incident in the city's Russian Hill neighborhood around 3 a.m. on Sunday, April 12th, police said. Excuse me. Investigators believe a vehicle carrying 2 occupants passed by a home around the time of the suspected shooting, and they later linked Tom and Hussein to those individuals after determining the car was registered to Tom. Police also executed a search warrant at a separate home, during which officers allegedly found and seized 3 firearms, per the release. According to a police report obtained by the San Francisco Standard, investigators believe a shot was fired from a car window near Altman's property around 1 a.m. before the vehicle fled the scene. Let's see here. The arrests come 2 days after a 20-year-old man, and they don't have his name, but we talked about it before. It's Marino Gamma. Allegedly threw a Molotov cocktail at Altman's home in North Beach, causing an exterior gate to catch fire, according to police. Then about an hour later, around 5 a.m. on Friday, April 10th, that same suspect allegedly threatened to burn down the artificial intelligence company's headquarters. Also adding that he threw a chair, I think from around the area, at the window or something like that. So yeah, I mean, I kind of bundled this into the Amazon, or not the Amazon warehouse, but the warehouse fire situation. I mean, they do feel very similar to me. At the end of the day, these CEOs, especially in the Sam Altman situation, where it's yeah, man, you've made yourself the face of this shit. And he issued a statement in between these. I think it was after the Molotov incident. He's like, hey, I have a family, please think about them, da da da. And look, I get it. Sure, we talk about the humanities and shit with all of these CEOs. Aren't they people too? It's yeah, but you're also a mascot for this company. You're also making a lot of fucking money off of this company, and you really don't care about any of the consequences. Like, and Sam Altman's kind of weird and quirky about it, because it's like there are times where he it almost feels like he's breaking the frame. Like, oh, I know, like these are scary things and da 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 blah blah blah. But then he just goes, but we're gonna do it. Like, it's just gonna happen. Like, he has that vibe, and a lot of these conversations about AI and where he wants to take, open AI as a company and all this shit. And it's like, dude, like, I get why people think you're the villain in the story, brother. I don't know what to tell you. I get why they're popping off at your house. Like, I mean, hey, I guess we can say glad no one was hurt. Do we throw one of those out there, I guess? But yeah, like, the only thing that's surprising to me is that these happened so close together. Like, so much so that I thought I was, like, seeing the same headline twice, and I was like, oh no, this isn't a deja vu, this isn't the same story, just more details. These are two different instances. I don't believe they're connected at all. These are just people who are like, no, fuck Sam Altman, fuck ChatGPT, fuck OpenAI, dude. And this is their reaction. Is it the right reaction? No, I will definitely say that. It is, once again, it is an impulsive, just violent reaction that you want to have because you're so fucking fed up with the situation and you feel so fucking helpless. I don't think this is the way to go about it, but I get why people go, you know what, fuck it, have gun will travel, and they make it happen. Granted, in both situations, they just bungle it because, once again, these are impulsive acts. There's not much thought put into it other than I can, so I do. And then, of course, with modern technology and law enforcement, they just go, okay, whoop, whoop, we got you, we found you, that wasn't hard. I imagine we might touch on these stories, in the future. I think also with the Merino Gamma, I believe, mental health has been cited at this point, but I hate to say that, but I think that's part of the course in these situations. And I don't know. I feel like people are so like, what difference does that make? But anyway, like I said, we'll be back to the story. Let me not rant and ramble too long. Next story is from BBC News. Ticketmaster owner Live Nation ran a monopoly and overcharged fans. Jury finds. Live Nation, the entertainment giant which owns Ticketmaster, has been illegally operating as a monopoly and overcharging fans, a federal jury has found. The verdict followed 4 days of deliberations and a 7-week trial in New York City that could have a major impact on the music industry. Excuse me. The concert venue and music festival owner could be forced to divest parts of its business or even split from Ticketmaster, an outcome former Attorney General Merrick Garland called for when he filed the lawsuit in May of 2024. The U.S. Department of Justice legal action said the firm's practices had kept out competitors and led to higher ticket prices and worse service for customers. Live Nation said the jury's verdict is not the last word on this matter. The company noted it had submitted a request to the court to reject expert testimony related to how the award for damages was calculated. There were other pending motions that could alter the outcome of the case, it said. A giant of live music and sports, last year Live Nation organized more than 55,000 concerts worldwide, drawing 159 million attendees. The ruling could lead to Live Nation and Ticketmaster being broken up and could open the way for smaller ticket sellers and venues to compete with those companies for audiences and live acts. What the whole capitalism thing is supposed to be doing, as opposed to like, nah, we'll just run this whole thing and then you have to go to us and we have the whole fucking say on how much it's going to be and you can't escape that. Anyway. Increased competition could bring down the price of tickets and see less well-known performers able to book venues more easily. Wouldn't that be nice? Morgan Harper, a director at the non-profit economic advocacy organization American Economic Liberties Project, called the verdict against Live Nation a historic victory for fans, artists, concert promoters, and venue owners who have suffered for decades under the thumb of Ticketmaster's monopoly. The company shares fell by more than 6% after the verdict was announced. As well as ordering legal measures to restore competition, Judge Arun Subramanian could impose a financial penalty to Live Nation. The jury found Ticketmaster had overcharged customers by $1.72 on each ticket sold over a period of several years. That figure is set to be used as a basis for calculating damage. damages. Live Nation argued throughout the trial that it was not a monopoly and that it competed fiercely with rivals in the entertainment space, with sports teams, concert promoters, and other venue operators. Dude, it's crazy the like mafia level like shakedown tactics that Live Nation could use. Like if a rival company went to like try to be like, we're gonna give you a much better affordable price, to work with us as opposed to Live Nation. Do you want to take that deal? And they're like, you have to cover us on this shit. And they're like, yeah, we got you on this shit. And literally, once that deal gets done, like the CEO of like Live Nation is calling the guy saying, come on, man, what are you doing, dude? Like, this isn't the way. This isn't the move. This is bad motion for you, for me, for everybody, baby. And like essentially gets the deal blocked. And this is just the way that it is. Like this is just the norm now because Live Nation has just infiltrated, saturated everything. You cannot escape it. And they say, hey, no, this is healthy competition. And not to mention, we are providing a superior product. Yet this superior product is a thing that, gets easily scalped. You could have VIP access to things and then completely get zoned out from it. And it's like, wait, I thought I'd get like the ability to do pre-orders. I should have a safe, shot at getting a ticket, and I'm locking on right when I can, and I can't. Why? What are you talking about? Like, where is this quality product you're talking about? It seems very elusive and overpriced. So, I'm happy to see some sort of reckoning. At least I hope. We'll see. Sometimes you get the verdict, and then you see what the aftermath is, and it's like, wait, they're still a monopoly. They're still whole. They're still the same thing. Nothing has changed. They just took a financial, cut on the wrist, if that. And like, they go, okay, yeah, this'll heal. Put a Band-Aid on and we're fine. It's still a little money. So, I mean, we'll see. I mean, 6% is a drop, but once again, you'll notice that that's not a big drop. Not that the market is law, but like, it's an indicator that that's not the biggest fucking worry that this happened. And sometimes for me, I don't know, maybe that's just me being like, what's the word? Not a pessimist or schadenfreude, whatever. I want to see it, and I feel like I need to see a bigger loss for me to know it's like, oh, this is definitely going to be bad for them, which would be, I think, good for us as the consumer, as the customer, as local haters. Let's see. Let's read a little bit more. Why not? In March, the Department of Justice, of the DOJ, said it had reached a settlement with both companies and withdrew from the case just as it was about to start. The states in Arkansas, Nebraska, and South Dakota also pulled out of the lawsuit. Prosecutors from 36 states pressed on with the trial, including California Attorney General Rob Bonta. Now, apparently, I can't remember what podcast I heard this from, but essentially that's kind of a norm thing for DOJs that kind of lines up with this administration, essentially saying like, hey, we're in this case. We didn't have a choice in the matter. We just want to win. Like, we just want to win a W so that we can take home to the people, say, hey, we handled this thing. Things are a little bit better and we're moving on. And it's like, no one really would have liked that, but essentially it's good that at least a good chunk of this continued to move forward and that other attorney generals, I can never say it right, pressed on forward. I think, W that, thumbs up for that. Let's see here. Earlier this week, a group of Democratic senators criticized the DOJ for settling. There's some more yada there. But calls from fans and lawmakers to look into Live Nation's dominance to the live music industry grew louder in the aftermath of Taylor Swift's 2022 Eras Tour. The company's system was overwhelmed by demand, forcing Ticketmaster eventually to apologize to Swift and her fans during a U.S. Senate hearing. Shit got so palpable. That is when we started covering this. This is when I really started yapping about this fucking shit. So crazy that we have gotten to 2026. It's still a fucking issue, but at least maybe we're going to see some potential changes in the future. That'd be nice. Also, I feel like something had happened in this story, I want to say about a month or so ago, and I missed it. I completely whiffed on it. So I'm glad I got another bite at the apple. So we love to see it. Anyway, we have one more story I really wanted to cover. Technically, there's a little bit of orbital here, a little bit of debris in the manosphere that we have to cover, but we gotta go. We gotta go back to South Korea. Not for any cool shit. That shit's kind of done and dusted, I think. We gotta talk about Johnny fucking Solmali. Fucking ugh. But yeah, let's take our last break and then we'll go ahead and do that and some blah blah manosphere shit. Because I love talking. I love the manosphere. I've been saying that. I've been a top G. All right. From NBC News. American YouTuber is jailed for 6 months in South Korea on public nuisance charge. An American live streamer who enraged South Korea by kissing a statue honoring women forced into wartime sexual slavery was jailed for 6 months Wednesday on public nuisance and other charges. Johnny Somali, 25, whose real name is Ramzi Khalid Ismail, had been barred from leaving South Korea since his indictment in 2024. On Wednesday, he was detained immediately after his sentencing on a range of offenses that also included disturbing sexual deepfakes, according to Seoul Western District Court. The self-proclaimed internet troll is best known for posting provocative videos on platforms including YouTube and Twitch, several of which have banned him. During a visit to Seoul in 2024, Somali drew outrage when he posted a clip of himself kissing and making sexual gestures toward a statue commemorating the tens of thousands of Korean women who were forced into sexual slavery by Japanese forces during World War II. The issue is extremely sensitive in South Korea, a key U.S. ally in Asia that continues to demand an apology from Japan. A handful of those who were enslaved, who have also been referred to euphemistically as comfort women, are still alive. Somali later apologized, saying he was unaware of the statue's significance and the clip was removed. Which I want to make an aside here. I'm calling bullshit on that. He definitely knew what the fuck he was doing. He was doing it very fucking intentionally. But he continued to stir controversy in South Korea, with local media reporting he had been beaten up multiple times, which I do remember some of these clips. When I was just scrolling around, either YouTube or Instagram, of just like these just bulky Korean dudes just coming up, immediately flexing on bro, and just beating his ass. Just like, and not even like beating his ass in like a vicious way or anything like that, but just like, oh, heard you say all this shit, I heard you do all that shit, bro, and just hit his shit. And then like essentially hit him and would just like flex on him until he like apologized. And I was like, good. Fucking good. And I'm not here to support, violence, whatever. I'm trying to be positive vibes on this motherfucker. But I gotta say, when I see that shit on my feed and it's a guy like that, yeah, man, like, what are we doing, bro? Like, you are doing the shit to ask for this and then trying to make profit off of this content. Like, that's your whole thing. So yeah, man. Sorry, you're getting fucked up in fucking South Korea, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, let's see. Somali was indicted over a number of disruptive acts, including an allegation that he caused a commotion at a convenience store in Seoul. According to the Korea Herald, he admitted to all charges at his first trial hearing last March. In addition to the prison term, Somali was sentenced to an additional 20 days in detention and is barred from working with children and people with disabilities for 5 years. The defendant repeatedly committed crimes against unspecified members of the public to generate profit via YouTube and distributed the content in disregard of Korean law. I'm surprised he's still allowed to be on YouTube. He's not banned permanently. That's crazy. Local media reported that Somali apologized for his actions before entering court Wednesday, and that his mother had submitted a petition for leniency last month. Prosecutors had sought 3 years in prison, which I would have loved to see, but Somali received a reduced sentence due to the absence of severe harm to victims. While on trial last year, Somali attempted to enter the courtroom wearing a red MAGA hat associated with supporters of President Donald Trump, but was stopped. During the incident, he said that Korea is a vassal state of the United States, drawing backlash, according to local reports. 4 months later, he was seen holding a Japanese rising sun flag, which is viewed in South Korea as a symbol of Japanese imperialism, and making remarks that Japan should reoccupy Korea. He also proclaimed that Dokdo, I'm sure I'm fucking that up, Dokdo, belongs to Japan, in reference to disputed islands that both countries claim as their own, local reports said. Somali has repeatedly drawn controversy while traveling outside the U.S., including during a trip to Japan where he taunted subway commuters about the U.S. atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki during World War II, which killed and maimed hundreds of thousands of people. So yeah, we've talked about him a bit on the podcast before. I am happy to see him get some kind of comeuppance, you know. So yeah, there's that. And then, like I said, I mentioned we got to talk about a little bit of the Manosphere shit from The Independent. Manosphere influencer Sneeko attacked during live stream in NYC. Now, I haven't talked about Sneeko. Long story short, I mean, really, if you really want to get a deep dive on these motherfuckers, the Louis Theroux Manosphere thing, that's a great little 101 tutorial. I've watched some of these motherfuckers' live streams, like, before they would get banned off of Twitch or whatever. So, like, I'm familiar enough with Sneeko, who also goes by the name of Nicholas Ken D. Ballinhazy. What the fuck is that name? I'm sorry. You know, what's in a name or whatever. That sounds like the craziest fucking thing. Ballinhazy? Whatever. I'm sure I'm fucking that up. But he was walking along in Manhattan on a Tuesday, talking about if you jerk your shit, you should be executed. I guess that was some shit he was saying before he was accosted by a man. And essentially, he was like choked to the ground, or hit, taken down, and then he gets maced by the same guy, and the guy gets away. I'm paraphrasing. I'm chopping this up very badly. Long story short, Sneeko got fucked up on his little walkabout. He's being a street stoic or whatever the fuck. And, he gets up, and, the video comes back on or whatever. And he's like, yeah, no, I got fucked up. I'm going to keep it, as he's trying to keep it a buck here. I think he said he got his chipped tooth, or he got his tooth chipped. I feel you on that mouth pain, huh? But, he's okay. And, crazy for a guy to mace him, blah, 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 blah. And crazy for a guy to sucker punch him, blah, 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 blah. It's like, bruh, maybe you shouldn't have been on your phone, That's some soy shit to be doing. I don't know. But needless to say, yada, yada. He'll be fine. Let's see here. But, what is it? Clavicular gets mentioned. And we've referenced him a little bit. Not too much. We haven't, dived too deeply. But elsewhere in the manosphere, streamer Clavicular was hospitalized Tuesday night after a suspected overdose during live stream, but is now reportedly in stable condition. I saw this picture of him with his face all fucked up. He had like a statement alongside of it or whatever, saying, I don't know. I'm kind of paraphrasing it, but the ending, he was just like, yeah, I've descended in like face status or some weird shit. I don't know, man. Definitely an odd guy, odd little dude, but hopefully he stays in stable condition. Stop doing drugs like that on especially midstream. That's crazy. You don't do that shit at all. Maybe don't take a meat tenderizer to your face. I don't know, man. Kids aren't all right, or maybe they are. I don't know. This batch a little crazy though. Anyway, that's it. That's all I have for today. If you'd like to help out, support the effort, I do have a Patreon, patreon.com/AZANews. Become a newsie today. Free ways to hit me up, AZANews1@gmail.com. Feel free to follow me or the podcast on any of the socials. Subscribe to the YouTube, follow on TikTok, follow on Spotify, follow on Apple Podcasts, wherever you like to listen. Let's see, leave a like, leave a cool comment. Sharing is caring. 5 stars on Spotify, 5 stars on Apple Podcasts, always appreciated. But you ain't got to do nothing of that. You ain't got to do Nathan at all. I appreciate you listening to me. I appreciate you hanging out with me for another episode. So thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks so much for being a friend. And hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love ya. Bye-bye. Mwah.